And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. We got an interesting one lined up like usual. We got a maritime shipping type company. I'm not saying on crypto right now because they're not. This is one to look out for because they will. Okay. It's tied into Kima, which is a crypto we went over yesterday, which is going to be massive. The connections with Kima and the government and JP Morgan's ex top director, it goes on and on. You have to watch the 1 hour, 20-minute program that I have on Kima and Drop, I think it was. Very interesting, up and coming crypto. Get positioned early. My name is Crypto Hulk, not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. Don't buy any crypto I tell you to buy. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy. I don't know anything that's going on in the show. Super fucking high on drugs, LSD, marijuana, pain pills, barbiturates, methamphetamines, cocaine, heroin, everything. I'm on it 24. I've been on high for 5.5 years. Any kind of text from me or anything you've ever gotten or a call, super high, don't even believe a word I say, biggest liar on YouTube. Okay, now we got the legal disclaimer out of the way. First 5 people, the gospel message, Del Gaddaft, MKP, Crypto Greek, and MAB 1914. Justin, welcome to the entry-level membership program. Now let's take a look. We're going to continue from where we left off yesterday. I got expert mode is experiencing issues. We are working on restoring services as quickly as possible. Okay. This is what I'm going to have to read off to you is some research that we did or information I have from you from yesterday. We were talking about, let me briefly catch you up. So yesterday we started off an article from a website called Payments. They were interviewing one of the top people from the United States Federal Reserve, a guy named Nick. If I can, I can't remember exactly. I think it was Nick. I don't know. We went over that article and it talked about how the Federal Reserve would start off by having pilot programs with various tech companies and or service providers like banks, payment systems. And they would have these pilots and interact together to make stuff, see if certain programs worked. And then, of course, the pilots would end. And Crypto Hulk would be right there reporting to you on what's going on with these different projects. And that's kind of like what Crypto Hulk Show does is we go over the early programs and we try to find them and we invest in them and we pump dump them and we hold them or whatever you want to do. And then eventually they will take off. That's the whole goal, is to get in early, not wait till they're already on exchanges. We get to them before they get to exchanges. That's the beauty of Crypto Hulk Show. And it provides a program that really nobody else does. I showed you a list of Federal Reserve cryptos, and we went over them. And one of them was like Bank Social. Now, just recently, there's a crypto kind of like a Bank Social. It's a small one, Telcoin. Let's take a look at where Telcoin is. Let's go right up here to CoinGecko. And Telcoin, we've talked about this on my program. I really don't see why this crypto went up 72%. Now it's up 87%. I've already told you, we did a report that Telcoin was determined to be the world's only crypto bank with its own coin, and and the news that's out right now is that, and I'm like, oh, I already talked about this. Like, I don't see what happens on Crypto Hulk Show is we're so early that when I report to you things, it's before the news media does, and then the news media talks about it. And I mean, 87%, that's good, but I mean, it's still got 2 zeros in front of the 5, so it didn't really move too much. I mean, 100% or 87%, you know, and that's great and all. It'll dump because most 99% of people just want to get in and out of something and make money, and they don't even understand what it is or what it does, or they don't really care or whatever. And that's fine. I don't really care either what other people do. Telcoin, I have a shitload of. I'm not gonna like dump it. I mean, you can if you want to. I'm not trying to discourage you at all. I mean, 87% is good. Wait for it to dump. It will, because people's minds get short-tracked. Another crypto a day will pop up, and it'll be, oh, let's go after that one. And then it'll be, oh, let's go after that one. I told you this would happen. The whack-a-mole syndrome. There used to be a video game called Whack-A-Mole. It has a handle, not a video game, but a game at an arcade of some sort. And it has a handle and a pad, and these little moles come up. You got to hit the moles on the head to put them back down in the hole. So that's what crypto is. When you guys watch the channel, I reported on Telcoin probably about 6 weeks ago. I mean, I've been reporting on it for about a year. But I already reported that it's the world's first bank, and they were all accepted. So this is just now being reported to the world. So the world's like, oh my God. And it goes up 87% here. I think I saw it might have hit 130%. And that's good and all, but I mean, shit. 4 or 5 days ago, my program hit 20x. So, I mean, somebody texted me, oh, Telcoin's going crazy or whatever. Well, 87% is really not crazy. 2,000% like last week on Crypto Hulk Show for a coin, that's crazy. 20x. This 87%, or let's say it's 130%, that's not crazy. That's okay. It's good, but it's nothing like, you're not going to get rich. If you had Telcoin, it went up 87 cents. What'd you make? $500 or something? Like, can you buy a car with that? Can you get a plane ticket to Bermuda or something with that? No. So you can't really do too much. So it's not really a big deal. And this will soon pass. Everybody will go chasing after a whack-a-mole. They'll go find something else, and this thing will be dumped. You'll see. It's just how it goes. Until we have real world legislation, until we have real world tokenization. When this coin launches to like $500 or $1,000 and doesn't come down, then that's what I'm pretty much here for. So, I mean, it's great. If you wanted to sell off Telcoin or whatever, you make your little, it was 36%, and then it went higher and higher. Now it's 87, whatever. You know, it'll go back down eventually. But if you're watching Crypto Hulk, we've already discussed how awesome this coin is. That's why I got well over 700,000 of them and stuff. It's just, I know where this is going to end up. And maybe when it hits $1 to $2, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might cut it loose and go buy a fat mansion or something like that. But until then, congratulations if you have Telcoin and been watching Crypto Hulk. Now, what we're going to go over, let me look at my deep dive here. We went over Kima yesterday, and then because we were talking about coins that the Federal Reserve is using Drop is going to be one. So we'll keep our eye on that one. Kima was the one that was mentioned with lots of deep, massive connections. You do have to watch the show that I did yesterday. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Kima will be difficult right now to get. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's total market cap. Yeah, it's up 12.4%. At one point it hit, I think, 25% in the green. But all this, people sell off. They'll get bored after like 3 minutes and then sell off. And I show you guys these cryptos because my goal is to prepare you for the future. If people want to come in, pump, dump, make 25%, buy back in with dumps. Whatever you do is your business. I don't care. What my business is to relay factual information to you, and you have to make decisions about what you want to do with the crypto. So we named off cryptos that the Federal Reserve will use, is using, has used. Drop came up in that list. Kima is an investor. Well, Kima is a crypto that will be used, and it's involved in Drop. And we have a company here now, a Maritime. So now we're getting into the trades, world trade, which can be very massive. Now, Kima Ventures heavily invests in fintech, blockchain, and crypto with a portfolio spanning payments, DeFi, NFTs, and infrastructure. We talked about an NFT yesterday on the show that you might want to get into. Kima. So they fund early stage disruptors, often in crossovers with AI and key elements. So we know that investments in Wise. So Kima is working with Wise. They're investing in them, and they're probably doing some other things they're not talking about right here. We got Drop, and that's micropayments on Hedera, which is with the Federal Reserve. Now we look here, and here's where the Maritime company comes in. Kima has invested in Spinergy, Spinergie. It's a maritime operation on distributed ledger technology. And that's involved with Kima Network. Now, right now, Spinergy doesn't have a crypto. It's a maritime company that's involved. We're showing you early stage, but eventually this Spinergy, I don't know if you're able to find this company. I haven't researched it. I don't know where you buy the stock in and all that. I'm not doing all that. I've done enough research work on this Kima and Drops company already. They're involved in a lot of other companies, so I'm not going to research the 30 companies they're in. Find out. I'm not going to do all that. It's going to take 8 to 10 hours or 12 hours to do all that shit. I'll just cherry pick. Spinergy is a maritime, it's a shipping company operating on distributed ledger technology. Eventually, they'll have a crypto. That's how everything's going to end up. Now, we talked about Sorare, Sorare. It's an NFT-based fantasy sports. They're also tied in with Kima. So with Spinergy, we're going to take a little look at the company. It's going to be one where it's going to be an up-and-coming kind of a company. Spinergy is a French maritime tech startup. It was started in 2016, specializing in data-driven solutions for vessel performance, fleet management, decarbonization, and shipping. It leverages AI and big data for operational efficiency, but has limited public ties to blockchain. Beyond general distributed ledger technology, mentions in funding announcements, no evidence of retail crypto token. yet. Okay. Now, who started this? It's a guy named Guillaume, Guillaume Vidal is his last name, like Vidal Sassoon, Vidal. He has over 15 years in the maritime technology, previously at Total Energies, which is a one word. It's an energy giant in digital transformation roles. That's what this guy does. This Guillaume Vidal, he is a transformer. He focuses on offshore operations. He has a background in engineering from École Polytech. The other guy's name is Nicholas Terry. He's the founder and chief technology officer. He has a history at Schlumberger, which is an oil field service. In software development for energy sectors, he holds degrees in computer science. And they got 50 employees working with them. He works with Maersk, Maersk, and BP. If you ever heard of Maersk, they're probably the biggest shipping company in the world. And then British Petroleum kind of speaks for itself right there. You got an investor called Serena Capital. They're involved in this company, Spinergy. They're also partners with Amazon Web Service. Of course, that's not a big deal at all. Amazon's only a Ripple partner and one of the biggest shipping companies in the world. They ship their products all over. That's not a big deal. We're early on this this company right here. Spinergy uses distributed ledger technology for secure data sharing in maritime operations, but no proprietary blockchain or crypto elements. No fintech focus. Primary software as a service for shipping efficiency. Now, we're going over this company because it's tied in pretty deep here with Kima. And I talked yesterday about all the Kima relationships. It's very vast. In October of last year, 2025, Spinergy raised $11 million from Serena, BPI France. That's the French government bank. So in France, the governments can own a bank and invest in things. And then Kima is also involved in Spinergy for AI-driven maritime. So this is a company that if you're in whatever part of the world watching my program, if you're able to get into Spinergy, now would be a good time before they really take off with crypto, because we're at the very beginning of something big happening with Spinergy. When you literally have the French government, that's not a big deal. The French government and Kima putting money into Spinergy, that's where you're getting in at the very, very beginning. So this is why I'm showing you this right now. If you live in a country where you can get into an early investment with Spinergy, that would be good. Now, if you can't, Kima, the crypto I went over yesterday, that would be another excellent choice because Kima is investing and involved with the country of France. That, for some of you, is just not a big deal. So that's what I would get into, is the Kima. If you can't buy Spinergy, then buy Kima. That would be an option. They are active on X. It's at Spinergy. That's their name, at Spinergy. They're known as Smart Solutions for Maritime Efficiency. Again, you got the Paris Public Bank. The Paris Public Bank, BPI France, is involved in this. That's just really something. Let me cherry pick the rest. Kima Network, which I bought yesterday, a pretty good, serious chunk. Kima Network is a blockchain interoperability protocol enabling seamless transfers between TradeFi and DeFi without smart contracts. Now, that's pretty impressive right there. You're taking traditional finance, for the people that are new, you're taking traditional finance and moving all that money into decentralized finance, which is, let's just call it the crypto world. So, and they're doing this without smart contracts. Kima is on Coinbase if you're interested. I got mine on MetaMask. Oh, interesting. What we're looking at here, we're looking at the Kima network and Spinergy, and it appears that Eaton, E-I-T-A-N, Katz, K-A-T-Z, is a co-founder and CEO. He used to work at Payoneer. That's a global payment. So what we're seeing here, oh, God. And the other guy, Tom Jaskula, blockchain expert, passed at Consensus, Ethereum developer. Oh, God, that's big. He not only worked at Consensus, that's the crypto Linea, L-I-N-E-A, that Swift is working on right now, that I also bought in heavily. Tom Jaskula is also part of a team of developers from Polygon and Chainlink. Oh, my God. So this is really, that's why I wanted to go over Kima. These people work for Kima. I know we're talking about Spinergy, but it's also related to Kima because Kima's backing that project. I mean, if Kima is backing a maritime project, eventually that maritime project's probably going to be using Kima, because they're not going to develop their own. It's a maritime shipping company. So I don't see them starting into being a crypto inventor. So they're going to adopt whatever platform Kima has. And of course, they got the French government, both of them working, investing in them both. Like literally the French government's invested in both Kima and Spinergy. I mean, the handwriting's on the wall. You already know. Then you got Kima's linked in with Polygon and Chainlink. There you go. And then one of the developers there at Kima was a Consensus. So that's Linea. Very, very strong connections. Kima token. The Kima token, governance, voting, transaction fees, and cross-chain transfers. That's okay. I think we got that Spinergy done. Spinergy, just about 2 days ago, they had a blog. They did a sub-Saharan African crew boat demand, noting 700 global vessels with 1/3 laid up. They had ocean winds for fleet. So that's just maritime news. I'm not going to read off that. So it was just an example. Spinergy is tied in with the French government and stuff. You've got them now utilizing Kima or working with Kima. They're not officially a crypto company at all. It's a shipping company. But again, if they're working with Kima, it's just a matter of time before they adopt Kima and Kima's crypto partners into that Spinergy company. So there's 2 investments right there if you're interested in that particular section. Let me click out of that. Let me see here. Yeah, it's just, I'm going to leave the Kima thing alone. I went over it yesterday for an hour and 20 minutes. If I spend an hour and 20 minutes on a crypto, probably a good sign that you want to look into it. All right, let me check some comments here, and we will get into some massive news next. I'm telling you, if you're brand new, don't listen. Like these other channels, oh, the crypto market's flat right now. Now's the perfect opportunity to get a crypto loan of some kind and get the cryptos you need. I got one guy that I'm talking to, either probably today, tomorrow, whatever. He's going to dump 70,000 and get cryptos that me and him are going to figure out which ones he should get. And then this other guy, $100,000 coming up. He's going to try to work with me to figure out. I'm not going to tell you, it's about $100,000. So, talk about pulling the trigger. Moto J81, welcome to the 2024 Crypto Explosion. So, yeah, people were talking about swapping with Arbitrum and stuff. Yeah, it's tricky. Cannot get Kima on coinage. I can't find. You can get Kima on MetaMask, Mexi, I think Uniswap, Coinbase, and some others. But yeah, it's a little now. If you got to buy small amounts because the liquidity pool is small. Yeah, just watch the show yesterday. Watch yesterday's show, and we talk about some things with that. One Truth Seeking 8. Welcome to the $500 member club. I can help speed you up and get you where you need to go. Contact me on my Twitter. It's at CryptoHulk19. Let me put the address in here. Okay, so it's at capital C for crypto, capital H for Hulk, 19, all one word. If you can't get a hold of me because somehow might be some issues, go to my Instagram. Let me look that one up. Now on Instagram, it's the Crypto Hulk in lowercase, and then the name Crypto and then Hulk separate. I have 8,666 followers. So let me type that in. Okay. There's your Instagram contact information. Contact me there. I'll have you send me your proof of payment information and stuff, and then we will start your journey on crypto. All right. Let us go to the next article. Now, this one is dealing with global crypto payments. And let's look at this article here. This article is on a website called Payments, Pymnts. The same website that I got yesterday's Kima information about. Let's do a copy and a paste. Now we have here, we're going to kind of go through this article. Stable coins threaten traditional cross-border rails. That's the title. In the early 2000s, the web's magic wasn't in the browser wars or the dot-com frenzy. It was in HTTP. The hypertext transfer protocol quietly standardized how information moved, making the internet interoperable, predictable, and programmable. Now, let's stop with that a minute because this is very massive. Let me show you this Wikipedia because I got to show you this so you understand, brand new people, what's going on. And what's going on is all this was planned out years ago, long time ago. Okay, right here, we have a Wikipedia page. The title of this is Interledger Foundation. The Interledger Foundation, now this is important to understand. If you don't understand this, you won't understand what is going on with crypto globally right now as a payment system. This is crucial. This is the one article that if I was going to say what's the most important article for people to understand what's going on now with crypto and payments, this is the article. This is the epicenter. The Interledger Foundation is a United States-based nonprofit corporation. It says it was established in 2019. Its mission is to foster global digital financial slavery. Just kidding. But it's true. Inclusion and equitable access to the digital economy through the development and promotion of the Interledger Protocol, a payment interchange standard. This, you need to understand all this to understand that this whole Ripple thing is the government and it's all a setup. If you understand what I'm talking about here at Interledger, you now have a firm understanding that all this crypto is the five families of the world. Everything I've been telling you for 5.5 years is all coming true for you to see it go down. My premise 5.5 years ago was that this whole crypto thing is a way to control everybody into slavery and world domination. It's true. If we read here, you have something called financial inclusion. That's the goal. How they say it is we want to help everybody get connected to the internet. They always start with the poor, the poor. We want to help the poor. Anytime you see a government or that guy, the mayor of New York guy, we want to give free buses. No, man, his plan's already falling apart like a house of cards. You already got the governor of New York saying they ain't having no free buses and shit. It's one thing after another. People are going to realize in New York, oh shit, we fucked up. You just got ass raped in New York. Congratulations. You guys are so fucking stupid. The Interledger Foundation is a nonprofit company. Its goal is to foster global digital financial inclusion and equitable access. That is code for we are going to hook up everybody in the world on the slave system, okay? That's where this goes. Now, who started this? Goes all roads lead back to Ripple. Okay, here we go. Stefan Thomas and Evan Schwartz. That's David Schwartz's brother. They published a white paper in October 2015 titled a protocol for interledger payments. Now, this is going back to 2015 is when this paper was published. And it's a protocol for interledger payments while working at Ripple Labs. Now, you got to concentrate here and follow me to understand. The document described a communication protocol to enable interoperable payments. See, previous to 2015, the world did not have an interoperable payment system because everybody's using something different. You got Nacha and all this SIPs and Chaps and Chops and whatever it is. All these different companies and all these different payment systems. Everybody's using something different. And nothing was interoperable. That's why it would take you 5 days to send a payment, 3 days if you're lucky. Ripple's making this to where you can send it in 3 seconds, okay? So in 2015, Ripple, also known as the United States government, Ripple invented something called interledger protocol, which then allowed the whole world to hook up the first time in world history where we're so close to global slavery and domination. Thank you, Ripple. And all the people wearing the Ripple shirts and XRP community dumb shit and all that stuff. Okay. So the document described a communication protocol to enable interoperable payments by acting as a what? Universal translator. Oh, man, this is Codius right here with AI and all this stuff. You got a universal translator among different financial networks. The interledger protocol was modeled after the internet's TCP/IP. So, again, what do we got going on? The internet was invented the internet as we know it was invented in 1997. The internet was invented by DARPA and governments and the rich families of the world to control everybody in 1997. The internet platform was laid out. There is a portion in the program code of the internet called HTTP 402, payment required. It was a status code and it was reserved in 1997 to indicate digital content is accessible only after payment is made. But this remained largely unused due to global fragmentation in digital payment methods. Okay. What we got going on is the world, all around the world, the payment system was a disaster. That's why it would take sometimes 5 to 7 days to send a payment somewhere, because it'd go from 1 or 2 or 3 banks in America and then cross over the oceans and go through market mail, all kinds of people. They go through all kinds of people. And it would take forever, and a lot of time your payment would get lost, and you have to go back and find it. It's a big mess is what it's been. So in 1997, the internet was rolled out for people like you and me. So it's an internet system we can transfer, and it's interoperable and all these things. And it had a place in it stored for future payments. They didn't know how to connect the world's payment system in 1997. It wasn't until 2015 where Ripple comes in with what they call interledger protocol, and they plugged it like a USB drive. They plugged it in the internet. Now the internet in 2015, remember this is 12 years ago, for the first time in history, now the internet, it took them 18 years. But it took Ripple 18 years to come up with this, because Ripple's been around since 2000. I've already shown the evidence of that. Ryan Fugger and all that shit. So Ripple, I traced it back to 2000. I did this like about 3.5 years ago. First person to ever do that. No other channel did that except me. In 2015, so here we go. Now we go back to 2015. In 2015, the World Wide Web Consortium hosted the Interledger Payment Community Group. Members included Ripple Labs. Now, what is it? What's the World Wide Web Consortium? They are the people that America gave up control of the internet to. So America invented the internet, and they gave it up. I think it was either Bill Clinton, probably. He was giving up everything, including his ass. I think he gave away, like, the Panama Canal, the internet, and everything. Or maybe it was Barack Obama gave up the internet. One of the two. Both those fucking losers. The World Wide Web controls the internet, okay? And Ripple was there at a meeting. How interesting, huh? 2000. Now, Ripple was a startup. Think about this. I want you to think. Here's how we know. Crypto Hulk is telling you that Ripple is the government and shit. It's not even who you think it is. It's so sad all these other channels have no idea. How is Ripple, a startup company, coming up with a computer program code, universal translator, for the whole world's payment system, a startup company called Ripple? Think about this now. They meet with the World Wide Web. The Federal Reserve of Minneapolis is there. American Express was there from day one. The National Association of Convenience Stores was there. And they discussed using Interledger Protocol, a startup company like Ripple. Now, hold on to this. To solve the compatibility issues between global payment networks. Now, how is Ripple in that conversation? A startup company, well, you know, just Brad Garlinghouse, kid from Kansas, right? All of a sudden now they're sitting in this meeting with the whole world 12 years ago. And right here they talk about HTTP 402 payment required status code was reserved in 1997. On July, next paragraph, on July 6, 2016, the first payment using Interledger Protocol was transmitted between two different ledgers. You have a Bitcoin ledger and then the Bitstamp ledger. Bitstamp was one of Ripple's first partners. And the XRP ledger on GateHub. So you had the Bitcoin ledger was on Bitstamp, and the XRP ledger was on GateHub, and they sent a transmission, and it worked. What did we just see here? Bitcoin was sent across to the XRP ledger. They've already done all this. They're fooling people. This whole Bitcoin thing, Bitcoin probably moves lightning fast. They're just trying to make you think like it doesn't, so you don't buy it all up or whatever. I don't know. I'm just reading off facts right here. And then right after that, the Bank of England did this in the next year, 2017, use it. Then the Bill and Melinda Gates got hooked up in this with Mojaloop. Then Africa, Mojaloop's all throughout Africa. See how all this goes? Coil. In 2019, Coil, Ripple had something called Coil. Oh, it's still around. People are like, well, Coil was a project Ripple stopped doing. No. What happened is they stopped talking about it. You got Codius, Coil. Coil was for micropayments, if I can remember correctly. You know what's getting popular now is micropayments. Because Coil never disappeared. They just stopped talking about it. Codius never disappeared. They just stopped talking about it. The Federal Reserve acknowledged they had relationships with all these payment companies well before these projects ever took off. They just stopped talking about it. None of these projects disappeared, dumbasses out there. Oh my God, mental midgets. So to sum this up, you have Ripple from day one meeting with the World Wide Web and the Federal Reserve and all these things. Totally fascinating how a startup company does that, because it's not a startup company. It is the government. And a payment Interledger Protocol method was given to the World Wide Web in 2015. Ripple, the XRP ledger with Codius, with Coil, and all these technology stuff that we don't even know about was already put into the internet 10 years ago, into the HTTP 4.2. The world has been ready to go digital for 10 years. I'm just letting you know. It's already done. Haven't you heard me tell you that before? It's already done. Ripple wallets, already done. Ripple's automated market maker. I showed you that 3 years ago before it even came out. It's called the XMM. All this stuff. I'm not getting into it now, but all this shit I already told you is already done. This is where we get into this article here. Now I'm going to go back to the article. I'm going to send it to you. So we have an article here talking about in the early 2000s. So now you have that history lesson. And then when you read this article, it'll all make sense. In the early 2000s, so the internet was invented again in 1997. The web's magic wasn't in the browser wars. It was in HTTP. Ta-da! That's what we just got done talking about. The Ripple Interledger Protocol, HTTP 4.02. The Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Quietly, you know, nobody knows about this, what we're talking about now. Nobody knows, no channel even goes over what we're talking about right now. This HTTP quietly standardized. It's already done. Like I've been telling you for 5.5 years, all this shit's a setup. Quietly standardized how information moved, making the internet interoperable. Oh, shit. Predictable and programmable. Already done. Ready to go. The internet was already hooked up with Ripple. Interoperability in 2015. It's ready to go. As stablecoins look to gain ground in mainstream finance, maturing from the fringes of crypto into regulated instruments, financial instruments, they are chasing a pole position across payments, particularly cross-border transactions, as infrastructure, not necessarily innovation. The promise of digital assets or crypto, after all, has been to shift finance from a trust-based system to a code, a crypto code-based one. Instead of relying on banks and clearinghouses and card networks to reconcile trust, stable coins, that's why Ripple came out with a stable coin. Stablecoins promise programmable, instantaneous, borderless settlement. In that sense, they aim to become the HTTP of money, a universal protocol for a value transfer. Before HTTP, every network was a walled garden. So what we got going on is you got the Bank of America system, the Wells Fargo, this bank, that bank. This country uses SEPA. This one uses chips, MasterCard. It was all separated up. It would take forever to transfer money. Now they're going to start using, from what was invented in 2015, the Ripple Interledger Protocol was given to the internet in the HTTP 4.02. All the world now is going to start to utilize what Ripple invented 10 years ago that no other channel even talks about, okay? It's a damn shame and it's embarrassing. Payment giants, meanwhile, are not sitting idle. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and others like Stripe are experimenting with blockchain. I've already talked about all this at length, about Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and Stripe, and all the history, all this shit they got going on. Visa's integration of Circle on Solana is a quiet acknowledgement that even incumbents see the inevitability of programmable money. Their goal is to not be disintermediated, but to ensure that if the rails are changing, they remain the toll keepers. So these big payment companies are utilizing crypto because they want it all to flow through their channels. The reason, my opinion, is this. The reason this is taking so long is these big incumbent systems, they're trying to build the crypto so that crypto flows through their organization still. They tried, I think, to shut it down for so many years, and they realized we can't shut this down. We have to use this new technology any way we can. That's what's taken so long. Because remember, 2015, Ripple already hooked up the whole world. This shit's been taking 10 years, and maybe it takes another 2, 3, 4, 5. I have no idea how long it's going to take. The only thing we can do is learn from Crypto Hulk channel and take our notes and watch how they unfold this and make sure that we're prepared and ready. We got our Caitlin Brown to protect against the hacks and stuff. We've got the Crypto Hulk law firm to protect against the government trying to steal our shit. Right below my channel, I have links to both of those. Regional banks and fintech processors face an even more complex calculus. For decades, their value has been in facilitating access by enabling remittances. Stablecoins flatten this terrain. When a digital dollar can move directly between wallets, what happens to the foreign exchange spread? What happens to the fees? The compliance gatekeeping that underwrote those models, it's gone. So what they're showing here is stable coins. Another reason this is taking so long is all the people, all the banks that would make money by sending money, all that's going to disappear. That's why all these big banks either tried to shut down crypto or slow it down, and now they've realized they can't. They've tried to shut it down. That didn't work. They've tried to slow it down, and people are just, it's going to bust. Now they've realized they have to adapt. The banks have to build a crypto system because otherwise their business will disappear. They're going to have to find other ways to make money. Besides remittances, they'll have to find another way. They're going to have to do some homework. Banks are going to have to figure out a new way to make money. They talk about this company called Nuvei. We've talked about it already. Nuvei. It's a payments company. They were interviewed in this article here. Let me just cherry pick this. Let me wrap this one up. The paradox is that the more stablecoins succeed as infrastructure, the less visible their innovation becomes. Users won't care whether a transaction rides on a blockchain any more than they care about whether an email uses SMTP. What will matter is cost, reliability, and interoperability. So to click out of that, that's what we have going on. Is all these banks, they got to come up with this new solution and roll it out. And they've been fighting it, and I think maybe they've realized, I don't know, when I got in crypto 5 years ago, they probably realized 5 years ago, we got to get in on this even more than they already are. I can't tell you why everything's taken so long. Probably for the reasons I just said, partly. You've got the whole world system of trade, foreign exchange, stocks, bonds, banking. All this has to change. I don't know when they started working on it. It's tough to say. What we have to do is get in on this crypto that I'm talking about. These companies that we talk about, if you want to get in, get a position in it, learn about it, whatever it is. But I'm trying to show you what's happening because it will happen. You don't have to believe in crypto. You can be one of these people, I don't know, I don't believe in this crypto. Okay, you don't have to believe in it. They're still going to build it out. And then one day, you will be using crypto to buy everything. And you won't believe it still, but it'll happen. That's how it works. Okay, let me check. I'm looking through the comments here. So Caleb and Brown can be for beginners. I don't know why somebody would say beginners uphold and Caleb Brown for larger players. That's total bullshit. So I'm going to take away that comment. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. So underneath my channel, we have the Crypto Hulk law firm. If you want to protect your crypto from the government, let's say you get sued, you're driving and you get in a car crash, someone sues you, they can take your crypto. So if you have your crypto with Crypto Hulk Lawyer, they'll show you how to set up a special program for you that will take away your name from the crypto. That way, if somebody sues you, they're not getting any crypto. That's the whole goal. Let's say you owe a bunch of tax. Let's say you're a business owner and you're either bankrupt, you got a $20 million lawsuit against you and all that. You can set up an LLC with Crypto Hulk Lawyer. That corporation can buy all the crypto. And later when that corporation is worth $50 million, you can take loans to live on and you still don't have any money because you're taking a loan. The Crypto Hulk Lawyer can explain all these things because one day you're going to be worth 5 million, 10 million, 50 million. Some of you guys, 500 million. Can you imagine the lawsuits that are going to happen to you? Ex-wives, child support, all these things that are come after you. But if your corporation owns it, you could live in a mansion that you could be the caretaker for the corporation. Like there's all these creative things. That's why I want you to talk to the Crypto Hulk Lawyer. You can create a corporation with the help of Anderson Advisor lawyers. And you're worth $300 million and you'll own nothing on paper. No, somebody can sue you, but they ain't getting shit. That's the whole goal. That's what's going to happen one day. You get in a car accident, they found out, oh, man, it's that crypto billionaire guy. Oh, we're going to sue him for $1 billion. And then they find out you don't own anything at all. You're bankrupt. You don't own a thing. They're not getting any money. That's where this end game comes. Righty then. So Uphold, I don't know why so many people are talking good about Uphold. During the flash correction, Uphold would not let me buy or sell certain cryptos. I used it for a long time before Caleb and Brown, but I don't trust it anymore. Caleb and Brown is the way to go. Also, you guys need to watch the programs when Caleb Brown shows up, because we got a lot of misinformed people. With Uphold, you got limits. Let's say your crypto goes up to $10 million. You want to cash out now. You can't do that shit on Uphold. If Uphold goes bankrupt, they own your crypto, not you, dummy. You're an account holder at Uphold, not an account owner. There's no reason why anybody would say there's anything good about Uphold over Caleb Brown. We can go on and on. So let's get the misinformation off the channel. And Caleb Brown, they are not the owners of your account. You are. At Uphold, they own the account, not you. We can go on with like 10 reasons why Uphold's fucked up, okay? So I'm just putting that out there. At Uphold, can you call him up on the phone? I can do that with Caleb Brown. I can call him. Right now, I could email Caleb Brown, and within 2 to 5 minutes, I'll get someone talking to me. I could put in an order. I could talk to them if there's an issue. There's an employee to do that. If they're open, I can call them. They'll pick up the phone. You can't do that at Uphold. We can go on and on with these kinds of things. Is Uphold using Fireblocks? Probably no. The answer is no. What's Fireblocks? The biggest custody provider for the world's biggest banks. Does Uphold have that? No. But Uphold has insurance. I don't fucking care. That insurance will be bankrupt. Well, you mean to tell me all these people, when they lose their billions and trillions of dollars, there's going to be insurance for that? Wrong. That's fucking wrong. Okay? All righty then. I think we'll call this a wrap. It's about an hour into the show. And let me check. Yeah, we went over what we got to go over today. Where's Telcoin at? Oh, 106%, still going up. Caleb Brown has Telcoin. So make sure you go to Caleb Brown and buy that up. Let me take a look here. I believe that'll be it. So I will work on a PM show. Hopefully at 5 o'clock, I'll have it. If I have a show, I'll try to have it up early, at least an announcement. Yesterday was crazy. This one thing after another kept popping up, and I had to do the show last minute. I will try to post, let's see, the show. If I have a show, it'll be at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. I'll try to have the show up by 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific at the latest. I try to get working on it at around 11 or 12 or 1 p.m. and then have it posted by at the latest 3. That's my goal. So there you have it. If I can do something, we'll have it up, and I'll see you in my next broadcast.